Chase, let's start from the top. Where you from? Where you representing? What side of Canton you representing?
So from the top, my name's Chase Ross Metal, and I'm the executive director at Chase & Cope House. And I am here from right here in Canton, Ohio, all over each side. I grew up in all of the ghetto sides, I guess, lower income sides. Growing up younger, we grew up and we were in poverty. We were very stayed in shelters, the YWCA, food banks, and things like that. So very involved in the community from that point. And then also my family is heavily involved in the community. So they always made sure that I was pulled into things that they were involved in.
What was it like growing up for you? What was your childhood like?
My childhood was a lot of NAACP events, church, Catholic and apostolic. A lot of friends. You know what? I think that growing up in Canton was a really unique time. I know you guys are a little younger. I'm 33 though, and I think I don't want to say it was safer, but I guess it was safer. And I say that because me and my friends were like able to ride the bus around town with no parents. We had no phones.
Right.
Remember? We had no phones.
No phones.
It was pay phones. So we would ride the bus from down here to Belton Village Mall with no phone or anything, call and check in on the pay phone. And I guess I didn't know that I was poor, honestly.
That's the best way to grow up.
Yeah, for sure.
My mom made sure that we definitely did not know. And if that meant like Christmas, she was purchasing our gifts from Goodwill and putting them in JCPenney boxes. Like we did not know that we were poor until we were a lot older, actually. So we had a good childhood. We were around playing with bikes and kids in the neighborhood and things like that. So I think I had a pretty decent childhood other than the trauma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had great friends.
That's good. Always good to grow up with like good people around you. You know,
Yeah.
if you start off young, setting yourself up with the right people, you know, there's really nothing that
I
can hold
wouldn't
you
say that
back.
they were the right people, but back then they were right. They were
Yeah.
right. And then also too, we had a lot more houses. I grew up on Shorb. We lived in the Newton Zone. Every bad part of town you can think of, except for Holland Park. We lived there, and I can say that there was a lot more houses,
Way more.
which was nice because my friends lived in those houses. So we were able, like how you see on movies where you just run up, and me and my kids were watching Sandlot last night. And remember how he would just go up to the door and get his friend, like, come on, all right, Mom, I'll be back later. It was literally like that.
You find the bikes.
It was literally like
Yeah.
that.
That's
And
all you had to do was
Yeah,
find the bike.
Find the bikes.
yeah,
That's where
and
everybody's
now
kicking it.
You drive around down here, and it's like there's no houses, just vacant lots and stuff. So I feel like the kids around here definitely miss that piece of childhood.
We didn't have tablets.
We didn't have tablets.
I was gonna say,
No.
have you rolled through there recently?
Oh, yeah,
Because I
I'm
live
here
on
every
the
day.
other side of Fulton, and I actually grew up on that side too. And I remember like going across in that area when I was a kid and stuff. And yeah, it wasn't. It was different.
It was. I'm in the neighborhood leadership program with Canton for All People right now. Shout out to
Okay.
Canton for All People. Love
Shout out
y'all.
Canton for all people. Dope.
And yesterday what we did was we went around with Don, who's the executive director, and he was showing us their projects in the city. And we went over here to the Newton area, and it's so funny because I grew up in that area, you know, used to go in the candy store with his 5-cent candy and stuff. And now it's literally just dirt and construction. But it was funny because Don was giving us, you know, telling us everything that's going on. And I'm standing there and I'm like, Don, I see it. Like I see the block party happening right here. I see the kids, you know, and everything. Like I see the vision, and this is so nice because this is what I knew.
You talking about where the motel used to be at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I said, I literally live right around the corner, so I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah. And
But,
literally, I told Don, I was like 13, able to walk in there and get a hotel room. They didn't ask for ID.
They didn't ask.
They didn't ask.
They probably didn't ask for much at that motel,
And
for
Don's
real.
face was just like, oh my.
It wasn't good when I was.
Yeah.
I don't think I had a clue what was
Up
actually
until
going
they
on
tore
in
it
that
down.
time. Yeah, I did
No?
not know what was going on in there. Like I just knew they didn't do the greatest stuff.
And
in
it's
there.
probably a good thing that you did.
Yeah, it's
You know?
right.
You know?